FM, the people's favorite gospel station.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Wardrobe provided by Bahari Bahamas. Visit shopbahari.com. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for joining me. So today is Wednesday, so we know what that means. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and we are going to be talking about your health today. My topic today is Health Made Simple, the role of therapeutic nutrition in the healing process. Health made simple, because it's simple, you know. They would have you believe that this is the most complicated thing in the world for you to become healthy again. That, they give you this diagnosis that you have this incurable condition and you're going to have to live with it for the rest of your life. And you're going to have to be taking this medication for the rest of your life. And all we can do is manage this illness and there's nothing more that you can do. Well, child, if that is you, or if you know anyone who has been told that, call them now and say, tune in to Glory 93.9 FM. Go on the Michelle Malcolm Facebook page or her YouTube channel. Do whatever you got to do to get yourself in front of this information, because we are going to be bringing you some information today that will shatter that myth. Newsflash, people. We were created by the ultimate manufacturer, and we were created with the incredible ability to heal. We are healing machines. And even though they would have told us in the past that there were certain parts of your body that could not be healed, truth be told, there is nothing on your body that cannot be healed, because we are healing machines. We are healing machines. And so if anybody tells you otherwise, tell them that ain't no true. It's not true. We have the ability to heal. And I want you to understand today that in spite of what they have told you, that you can heal. Your body can heal itself. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about on the show today. And I want you to make sure that you tell a friend to tune in to GPS today, because we're going to bring you some information that is going to change your life. So the first thing we need to figure out is, why are we not hearing this information? So, if we compare our bodies to machines, then we should understand that in the same way that a machine needs certain things to work, so do our bodies need, certain things to work. And if we do not give our bodies the support that they need to work, then, like a fancy car, if you treat that car wrong, eventually the car is going to break down. Same thing with our bodies. What we call disease is really just a degeneration of your body because you haven't given it what it needs. That's the core message that I want you to understand today. There is a reason why the world is so sick. Let's go to clip number 1. And by the way, this is an interview that Dr. Joel Wallach did with a gentleman named Damon Davis, who hosts a show called One on One. And these clips are going to be excerpts from Dr. Wallach's appearance on that show. So clip number 1 is talking about, why is it that there is so much sickness in the world? Let's go back.
What is causing so many people to be so unhealthy? The world is sick, Doc. What's going on out there?
It's actually quite simple. The reason why we're sick is we're not giving our genes and our DNA and our RNA and our telomeres, little end caps on our chromosome, everything they need to maximize our genetic potential that the good Lord gave us. And one of the things that was really interesting to me was that God made us in His image. Mm-hmm. And I always thought as a kid, does God have hemorrhoids? Does God have heart disease? Does God have diabetes? Does God have ringing in His ears? Of course not. Yeah. And so somehow along the way we're messing things up.
But isn't the food that we eat providing us the kind of nutrition that we need?
No. Just eating well isn't enough. You have to do more than that. And the good Lord picked the Garden of Eden to put Adam in because it was the perfect place nutritionally, biochemically in the world. Now it's perfect because there were 4 rivers dumping into there. It's the first map quest. Garden of Eden was east of Eden. 4 rivers, right? The Tigris, Euphrates, Pishon, and Dishon rivers dumping in there. So that place is still there. It's the most fertile place on earth.
It's got to be.
Yeah. And so God didn't place Adam anywhere. He put him in the most fertile place where he had the best chance to be everything he could be.
Got it.
And so if you look at how minerals are distributed, minerals make up 2/3 of our 90 essential nutrients. We need 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And whether you're a hummingbird or a human being or an elephant, any vertebrate needs those 90 essential nutrients.
Which means that God built us to need them.
Yes. There's some places on earth where they're perfect, and there's many places on earth where they're not. In other words, some gardens might have 3 minerals in it, some might have 14, some might have 25, some might have 70. The people who live in places where there's 70 are going to live longer and be healthier than the ones that have 3.
So all soil isn't the same.
Oh, no.
Well, then, if I'm buying healthy food at my local grocery store, and it looks good, and maybe even it tastes great, I don't know what soil that came from.
Exactly right. That's our problem. So just because you're eating well and eating organic doesn't mean anything when it comes to nutrition. It means nothing.
Wow. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get then all of not what my body might need to have. You're saying what my body must have.
Exactly.
So I hear this all the time as a certified holistic health coach when I'm talking to people about health and nutrition, and they say, but I eat well, and can't I just get all of the nutrients I need from my foods? And how come my parents or my grandparents didn't have to do all this supplementation and they were just fine? I hear it all the time, right? There are a couple of things that we need to take into consideration. I'll use my grandparents as an example. My grandfather was a schoolmaster. My grandmother was the typical housewife, but then she also was a little entrepreneur. She used to, sell her little stuff, and she also farmed. And so they ate a lot from the soil because, quite frankly, they didn't have the kind of money to be purchasing a bunch of stuff. So they had to eat from the soil. And one of the techniques that they had back in the day was something called slash and burn. And in our next clip, Dr. Wallach is going to explain why this was so effective. So the foods that they ate, the soil that they ate from was mineral rich because the ash was actually minerals being deposited back into the earth. Now, I need you to understand something. There have been many hurricanes, many floods. So the earth has been so depleted of nutrients. And then because of modern day farming techniques, they don't do slash and burn anymore. And so the earth from which our foods are growing today is not as mineral rich as the soil that my grandparents ate from. So the nutritional value of the food is not the same, even if you're eating organically, because our soils have been so depleted over the years. Now, on top of that, what my grandparents didn't have to face is something that we are facing in abundance today, and that's genetically modified foods. So many of the foods that we are eating today have been tampered with, genetically modified, because mankind believed they smarter than God. So they're tampering with the foods. They're making genetically modified foods. And when it gets into your body don't know what to do with that. So number one, the soils have been depleted. Number two, the foods are being genetically modified. Number three, the earth in which we live is so much more, there's so much more toxins in the environment than back in the day when my grandparents lived on Cat Island. They didn't have all of the cars. It's just a much more toxic environment. Okay? So we're being bombarded with toxins. We're being bombarded with stress, the stresses that many of the stresses that we deal with today, they didn't have to worry about back then. The soils have been depleted. So the stuff that's growing from those soils don't have the same value of nutrition as what they did. And then on top of that, they genetically modifying everything. So it's no wonder then that even though we have all of these technological advancements, and mankind is so much smarter, and all this information at your fingertips or whatever. But yet, when it comes to some very simple things, we have lost our way. And our bodies don't know what to do with the stuff that we have been putting into it. And so this is why, even though there's all of these medications on the market, people are sicker now than they have ever been before. It seems the more medical advances there are, the more people become sick, the more people are sick. And if these medical advances were so effective, then why are we not healthier today than they would have been back then? I hear it all the time. Oh, my grandfather lived to be 100. Yeah, but your grandfather was eating real food. So you can't compare what happened in their lives with what is happening today. And I need people to understand this, because a lot of people are fooling themselves into believing that I'm getting everything that I need from my food. It's impossible in 2021. I want you to understand that. It is impossible in 2021 for you to get all of the nutrients that your body needs from food alone. I need you to understand that. Because if you don't, as Doc Wallach says, that's a fool's game. So in this second clip, we're going to understand more why missing minerals is such a problem for us today. Let's go to clip number 2.
Up until a certain period of time, the universal fuel in the world was wood. We burned wood for heat and cooking and so forth. And there was stuff left over. We call them ashes. And we would take these really minerals that the tree had sucked up out of the ground. It didn't burn when you burned the wood. We'd throw them in the garden. And these wood ashes were our source of nutritional mineral supplementation.
Wow.
Now, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, it all changed. It was in a heartbeat, it all went away. A guy by the name of Thomas Edison pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant, and people liked electricity.
Sure they did.
What happened here was within 10 years, everybody in the industrialized world converted from wood as the universal fuel to electricity. Well, here comes the ultimate question. How many wood ashes are left over every morning when you fuel your house with electricity?
0.
0. And what did we replace that traditional source of nutritional mineral supplementation with? Nothing.
Then what is happening absent these required nutrients that we're supposed to have? Is that why our bodies are breaking down? Is that why we're not healing naturally the way that, I mean, am I getting it?
You got it. We're not designed to have heart disease. We're not designed to have diabetes. We're not designed to have arthritis. We're not designed to have Alzheimer's disease. We're not designed to have periodontal disease and low thyroid. And we have these things because these nutrients are missing in our food now.
You said it exactly as I read it in the Bible, that He made us in His likeness and His image. He didn't make us to be broken down, right? He didn't make us to be sick. He didn't make us to be depleted of the ability to do all of these things that He created us to do.
So I want y'all to understand something, because the Bible talks about the healing in the herbs, and this is true, but you have to understand again that the quality of the soil from which those herbs are growing is very important in this conversation. And if that soil is not mineral rich, then that is going to deplete the nutritional prowess, for want of a better word, of that herb. So the quality of the soil is what has led us to where we are today. Because of the advent of electricity, people stop burning wood as a source of energy. So now everybody's flipping a switch. You have all these modern day farming techniques, and the soils are being used again and again and again and again, being depleted, flooding, hurricanes, etc. All of these phenomena have diminished the mineral content of the soil. And so whatever is growing from that soil it's only so much that it can have if the soil itself does not have the minerals. I want y'all to understand this. Okay? So, like I say, I hear it all the time. Oh, Michelle, you come with all these things, but my grandmother this and yeah, your grandmother was living in a different time where she was not being bombarded with genetically modified foods, where the soil was mineral rich. So you cannot compare what was happening back then to what is happening today. Y'all need to understand that, okay? Because I hear that all the time. And a lot of people think that they can get it all through their food. And then, you hear it all the time. Oh, but I don't understand. How come I'm sick? I eat well. You may be eating well as far as you are concerned, but if the food that you're eating doesn't have the nutritional content, you're still going to break down on the side of the road. If nothing else you understand from this conversation, I want you to get that. You have to supplement. You have to supplement. There is no, well, I don't have to do that. And let me just say this, that not all supplements are created equal. Some supplements on the market have been formulated by big pharma. They're going to get you one way or the other. As we would have learned in one of my previous shows, big pharma has taken over the agricultural industry. So now they own the seed companies. So they're genetically modifying these seeds. They've taken over the agriculture industry to the point where the entire Western Hemisphere is now dominated with genetically modified foods. And then the pharmaceutical companies also own the chemical companies. So they're spraying the foods that they're growing that are genetically modified with things like Roundup, which is a cancer-causing agent. And so then when you get sick, they get you one way or the other. Either they get you from the pharmaceutical medicine, because now that they've helped you to become sick, they have to, I have the solution for you. Here's what you need to take to manage your illness. They don't tell you to heal you. They tell you, here's what you need to take to manage this illness, because this illness is going to be with you for the rest of your life. And if you decide to stand up against the grain and say, no, I'm going to go the route of nutrition, they get you that way too, because many of these popular nutritional supplements are made by, guess who, y'all? Big Pharma. And because they are made from minerals in their raw state, your body cannot absorb them. Because as you would have heard me say before, it's not what you take, it's what your body can absorb that makes the difference. So you got to understand this, people. Not all supplements are created equal. If you are taking something that is not plant-derived, then your body cannot assimilate that. Your body can't break it down, and it passes right through your system. So you thinking now, oh, I'm getting good nutrition because I take in this particular product that I bought over the counter. And see, it says I'm getting 1,000 milligrams of this. When truth be told, that passed right through your body. And so you're saying, but I'm already taking something, but yet you're still sick. And so I often ask people who come back at me with that, so how's that working for you? If you are taking this and you're still sick, what is that telling you? Not that nutrition doesn't work. You just taking an inferior product. And so I need you to understand. Number one, you need nutrition. Your body was designed to run on nutrition. That's the fuel for your car. And I don't care how fancy your car is or how cheap your car is, unless it's a car that was designed not to run on gasoline. If it's a gasoline designed car, every car needs gasoline. And the quality of gasoline that you put in that is very important. But the fact is, if you don't put the gasoline in the car, you will eventually break down. So in the same way, these incredible machines called our bodies, we have to get the nutrients that our bodies need to function. Okay? And so throughout the show today, we're going to be talking about how important this nutrition is and the impact that it has on your ability to heal, your body's ability to heal, because your body can correct itself. Your body's systems can be restored, but only if you give it the building blocks it needs to do so. I need you to get that, people. If you go to the doctor and they tell you things, you can believe the diagnosis, but you don't have to believe the prognosis, especially if they tell you, oh, this is something that you can only manage, but we have to deal with this for the rest of your life. No, question that, because it's probably not true. And I'm going to get into more details about that in a minute. So we're going to take our first break. I want to hear from you. This is really an open show. So if you have questions, you can give us a call. The number to call is 828-3543, 828-3543. And the number to text is 828-2543, 828-2543. And of course, you can put a comment on Facebook. And we will sift through them and pick a couple of comments to read to our audience. So again, the call number is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call if you have a health-related question. And the number to text is 828-2543, 828-2543. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue with this Wellness Wednesday show. Our topic today, once again, is Health Made Simple, the role of therapeutic nutrition in the healing process. Stay with us.
Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want. Ocean blue got it. Ocean blue, friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean blue is the best in seafood, yeah. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. Ocean blue seafood, we are here for you. Ocean seafood, no one else will do. Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Burnett Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
At the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, we provide you with the freshest produce, eggs, meat, and more. But what you don't see makes a difference too, like the care our farmers put into growing and raising that food for your family, the fewer miles that food travels from the farm to your plate, and the dollars you are keeping in our local community. Our open-air market is every Friday and Saturday. Come visit us, and be sure to look for the GPS-endorsed flyer. COVID-19 has affected all of us, but it won't stop us from serving you with a smile, even under the mask. Gladstone Road Farmers Market, home of fresh. At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and I want to remind you to go check out the farmers on Friday and Saturday at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market. And the reason why I really recommend that you do that is a couple of reasons. Well, reason number one, you want to support your local farmer because you know that food has been grown locally. It didn't have to travel thousands of miles to get to you. And you can have a conversation with that farmer face to face. You can ask them questions like, is this organic? How are you growing it? What are you using? You can talk to that farmer, develop a relationship with your farmer. So you know what it is that you're eating. Because when that thing is imported, who knows? Who knows? Unless it says specifically organic, it is not organic. And organic is definitely the better way to go because organic simply means that it has not been sprayed with things like Roundup, herbicides, and pesticides that will cause cancer and all other manner of evil on your body. But it does not mean that the food has the nutritional value. And this is why supplementation is so important. So definitely go organic. Support your local farmers. And to me, the best place to do that is at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market. They're every Friday and Saturday. You will see the GPS endorsed flyer to know the ones that I recommend because they're the ones that I purchase stuff from. So definitely go and check them out on Friday or Saturday of this week. Let's get back to the topic at hand. And that is the role of therapeutic nutrition in the healing process. Health made simple, because as much as they're trying to convince you that it's not simple, it is very, very, very simple to heal reverse many of these illnesses and ailments that people are addressing. Doc Wallach was on my show a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things that he talks about is the fact that as a boy, up until the age of 9, he had a debilitating condition that at the time They pretty much didn't know what it was, but now we know that he had what is called Tourette syndrome. And his family took him to doctors, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him and gave him some stupid diagnosis about his eyelashes being too long and hitting his glasses and curling back into his eyes and causing him to twitch. Utter foolishness. Now, you may say, well, Michelle, they just didn't have as much knowledge back then as the doctors do now. And that is true. But even with all of the knowledge that our doctors have today, they still just come up with utter foolishness as it relates to some of the things that they tell their clients. And a part of the problem is the fact that they have not received any extensive training in nutrition. So all they know is pharmaceuticals. That's what they were trained in. And so you have to understand that when you walk into the doctor's office, they are advising you based on their degree of training. Now, many of them are now incorporating nutrition into what they do, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them still will tell you, oh, that can't help you. So my question for them would be, okay, so how is your medication going to help me? Is your pharmaceutical medication going to reverse my illness, or is it simply going to manage my illness? Now, they're not going to like you for asking that question, but it's a very good question to ask. Because with all of the knowledge and all of the advancements in medicine, and again, I always make this very clear when I'm having this aspect of the conversation, that I do not in any way disparage the good work that doctors are doing, because they do have a role to play. They are trained in allopathic medicine, and they are very, very good in instances of trauma, acute illness. You get in an accident, you have a bad laceration, you need to see a doctor immediately. They're very, very good when it comes to things like heart attacks. I mean, if it's an acute situation, they're very, very good at that. They're very good at surgery when necessary. Okay. They're very good at a couple of infectious diseases. They're very good at that. So they do have a very important role to play. But when it comes to long-term chronic ailments, they are failing us. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is look at the number of people who are taking medications. And I didn't say medication, medications, plural, and still aren't getting any better. Why? Because I dare say, I want you to get ready to go to clip number 3, that many of the theories that they have put on us are failed theories. And this is why, in spite of all of the medical advancements, we are still sicker and sicker and sicker. Let's go to clip number 3.
There are people watching. There are people watching who have given in to whatever they're facing. The doctor has given them a prognosis, and it's not a good one. And they have given in. They've become defeated because of how they feel every day. So is it possible, as we get into this interview, for people that are watching, to get their mindset that no matter where they are, no matter how bad they feel, you can help them do something about it? Am I understanding that that's what they're going to discover in this book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Exactly, Damon. We're going to talk about God stuff. And what they have to appreciate is that they've been talking to people who are experts in misinformation. Every century there's been thousands of failed medical theories. Now the 20th century and the 21st century have been no different. There's thousands of failed medical theories, including saturated fat and cholesterol clogs your arteries and causes heart disease. That's a failed theory.
Sure.
None of that's true.
Right.
Cholesterol is an essential nutrient, like oxygen and water.
Wow.
We're not obese because we eat too much and lack enough exercise. We're obese because we're missing certain nutrients. It's a nutritional deficiency to be obese. And then, of course, salt is good. You know, the good Lord said, go forth and be the salt of the earth. And doctors say, don't use salt. Well, God lives forever. And doctors' average lifespan, according to their own survey in 1999, is 56. So
wow.
On the salt thing, I'm going with God.
Boy,
okay.
Three examples you just gave, and I'm sure there's plenty more in this book, of what we're hearing and have accepted as the truth. It's not the truth at all. I mean,
not even close.
It's confusing.
Each year in America, medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million patients in hospitals and their clinics. And they get a walk. Nobody has their license suspended. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets a parking ticket.
Gosh. Doc, it's a sobering moment for me because my father died of cancer. Prior to that, he had cardiomyopathy. They say it wasn't the...
May I? Right
please,
here?
Please.
Cardiomyopathy is a simple deficiency of a single mineral. And if they were to supplement with all 90 essential nutrients and take extra of this one mineral, we would never have another case of cardiomyopathy heart disease.
Okay, you're killing me. What's the mineral?
It's called selenium.
Selenium.
Yes.
A nutrient.
Yes.
Could have made a difference.
Oh, I could have saved your father's life, yes.
Yes, people. Simple nutrients could make a huge difference in many of the ailments that you are now battling that they are telling you cannot be healed. And one of the things that really bothers me is that people are suffering unnecessarily because of a lack of knowledge, both on their part and the part of their doctors, and because of arrogance on the part of their doctors. Because many of them, as opposed to telling you, I don't know. I guess that's why they call it practicing medicine, because they practice it on y'all. Well, let's try this. Well, let's try that. I remember when my mother was alive and she first started showing symptoms of cognitive impairment. And we didn't know what was wrong. So I took her to a neurologist. And, every week we going back and, okay, well, that didn't work. Well, let's try this. Well, let's try that. Well, let's try this. At one point, he put my mother on a herpes medication because he's like, well, sometimes maybe if herpes gets to the brain, and then he puts on this one medication and it caused my mother to start hallucinating. And I said, that is it. Enough. You will not experiment on my mother anymore. Why the hell you don't just say, I don't know? But they will never do that. And by the time they finish with you, you will be on 6 and 7 and 8 different medications and still ain't getting no better. So you really have to. I only wish I knew then what I know now, because I know now. I eventually, after my mother suffered for years, one day she was having a really bad day with dizziness. We took her to the doctor, to the hospital, and a Jamaican doctor walks in there, looks at her x-rays and say, oh, I see your mother has vascular dementia. I say, miss, what she have? This after years now. Years. Doctor. I say, miss, what she have? She says, I can see she has vascular dementia. I said, what is that? She says, oh, it's when the arteries are clogged and her brain is not getting sufficient oxygen and food, etc. I say, miss, you know how many doctors I have taken my mother to, and you the first person to tell me this? She says, well, if they don't know what to look for. I say, well, blow me down. Now I know that through nutrition, my mother could have been helped. Back then, I didn't know. And that's one of the things that I look back and I say, boy, if only I had been introduced to this sooner, my mother would not have had to suffer the way she did. But they will experiment on you. And then when they finish with you, they will say, oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing more we can do for you. Go home and die. And you still have some people who are sold hook, line, and sinker on whatever these people tell them. They ain't getting no better. Taking all these medications, still sick. But you come to them and you say, maybe you should give nutrition a try. And they look at you and oh, you a quack. You a snake oil salesman. So, how that working for you, what you doing? How that helping you? People, you have to wise up and demand more from these people. And quite frankly, to tell you the truth, many of them just, again, it's how they've been trained. They have not been trained in nutrition. And some of them are outright arrogantly opposing nutrition. Oftentimes, I get people as a coach, as a health coach, who are going through these medical situations. They're on medication. You put them on the nutrition, and they're scared to take the nutrition. I don't know. There's so much. I don't know if I should take all this. You ain't got no problem taking the chemical garbage that helping to keep your body from functioning, because all that is doing is managing a symptom. But you're scared to take nutrition. I just find it amazing. But that is the good job that they have done, and to swinging us to believe that they are the ultimate authority on anything to do with your health. And God knows they are not. So you got to wise up, people. You have to get to the point where you ask them serious questions. And if they can't give you adequate numbers, then maybe you need to consider another option. Because if these medical theories were working so well, why are we sicker now than we have ever been in the history of mankind? Think about that. Think about that. Sylvie says, show a couple of your comments. Sylvie says, this is a very sore subject with me as I lost my husband in 2020 and feel if the doctors would have taken their time to listen to him over the years, what he had could have been detected earlier. You know, the thing, Sylvie, is when they don't know, they treat you like you're the idiot. Certain conditions they still don't know how to deal with or even identify. And so they'll treat you like something wrong with your head. One of those ailments, and y'all know this is a pet peeve for me because I almost died from it, is when you are exposed to toxic mold. All kind of weird symptoms. And if you don't know how to put them all together, you'll be treating this person for that and treating them for this and treating them for the next. And I remember at one point when I was going through it, when I finally figured out what was wrong and went and got treatment and everything, I had a girlfriend who had been going through the same thing and had been going from doctor to doctor to doctor with no relief. And so finally I called her up. I said, I believe I know what's wrong with you. She said, please tell me what. And this is only based on my experience. I said, I believe you have also been exposed to mold. Come to find out the thing was growing in her air conditioning unit. But now here's the thing. The doctors were telling her, oh, your body just out of whack. Take this medication. Oh, your body just out of whack. Meanwhile, the woman getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and they treating her like something in her head wrong, or your body just out of whack, whatever in the world that means. And had we not figured out what was wrong, that probably would have taken her life, as it would have with me. Had I not figured out what was wrong, because the doctor couldn't tell me what was wrong. People understand that they are not the ultimate authority when it comes to your health. What they do very well is they manage your illness. And you have to understand that there is a major difference between managing an illness and restoring your health. Let's go to the next clip.
Speaking to the people that are watching that are right now facing the darkest night of the soul, they get up every day and they're sick and they're depleted. They've stopped living the life that God designed for them to live, and they're asking, what in the world can I do? I'm facing it myself. I started feeling this pain in my joints, inflammation. I'm a young guy, and I eat relatively well. I got a lot of stuff I want to do for the kingdom, and yet I'm being frozen and paralyzed by this creeping, degenerative, incurable disease that the medical establishment says that I've got to live with and medicate against the rest of my days.
Neither of those statements are correct.
Talk to me.
Okay, well, first of all, if you do have rheumatoid arthritis, it's actually caused by an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. It's very easy to kill that bug in a couple of weeks, and then in a couple of months, I can legally say support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, sir. I've been doing this for 36 years. We do this thousands of times a day.
Doc, is this what this book is going to tell me? I mean,
Yes, sir.
people that are watching that are facing a whole host of ailments.
Yes.
You're saying there's hope.
Well, there's more than hope. The reversal of these diseases is so easy. For instance, let's take the disease that's killing us financially in America, diabetes.
Yeah.
Type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a deficiency of a single mineral. I could make the United States a diabetes-free country in 2 months or less. Maybe even 2 weeks, if everybody did exactly the same thing. Blood sugar is really not the disease, it's a symptom of the disease. And so managing blood sugar, you're not getting close to dealing with the disease.
Sure.
It's kind of like when you have pain, when you have arthritis, you manage pain, the disease keeps getting worse.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah. They put me on pills. And I asked the question, what next? I don't want to just treat what's going on. I want to get to the root and fix it. And the answers are, we are going to help manage your disease.
Because that's where the money's at. If they were to cure you in 3 weeks, they'd make $300. But if they treat you for your arthritis for 25 years, they make $750,000.
Gosh, when you say that, I'm like, okay, how much am I spending on this book? That's going to cut my medical bills very quickly. Having access to the kind of information that could perhaps not just save my life, but save the lives of so many people around me.
Yes, your family, your pastor.
The reality is, if we keep doing what we've always been doing, we're going to stay exactly where we are.
Okay, so you hear him talking about this book. He's talking about a book that was written by Dr. Joel Wallach called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I think 250 million copies sold worldwide. It's also available on DVD, on audio, cassette, not cassette, what you call it, disc. If you listen to that lecture, it will literally blow your mind. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some information on my Facebook page sometime today about how you can access that book or listen to get a copy of the disc, because it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind to know that many of these diseases that they're telling you are incurable, and all you can do is take this medication and manage it. It's not true. It is not true, people. I can say it one more time. It is not true. Our bodies are healing machines designed by the ultimate manufacturer to heal. But you just got to give it the building blocks it needs to do so. And I'm talking about listen, he talked about obesity in one of the clips, right? But a part of that is nutritional deficiency. But another thing that can cause obesity is toxins. You get exposed to a toxin long term, your body starts creating storage containers to store the toxin in, and we call those storage containers fat cells. I tell people all the time, you don't lose weight to become healthy. You become healthy to lose weight. That's what happened in my case. I had gained a ton of weight because I was living in a toxic environment. I was living in poison. And as I was breathing in that poison day and night, my body was trying to find a place to put the toxins to protect my organs. So when your body is highly acidic or exposed to toxins or nutrient deficient, your body actually creates storage containers. And we call the storage containers fat cells. So here I was, gaining weight uncontrollably. Can't figure out why I'm gaining all this weight. It wasn't until I got out of the toxic environment and started to heal my body that the weight started to come off, because then the body's like, okay, we don't need all these storage containers anymore because we're not taking in all that toxin anymore. But the doctors, they don't know. They're not going to tell you this. Obesity is could be a part of a nutritional deficiency. Your body's constantly looking, it's like a computer scanning for these 90 nutrients. You hear Doc Wallach, and I talk about it all the time. Your body needs 90 essential nutrients. What are those 90 nutrients? 60 minerals. That's 60. 60 minerals. 16 vitamins. 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. So all day long, your body is scanning to see, Okay, can I go here to get some C? Can I go there to get some D? Can I go there to get B12, whatever? And so when it's scanning and it can't find this nutrient, okay, you got to go eat so we can get this nutrient in our body. So let's say you go to a fast food restaurant and you get a burger and some fries and you're full. But a short time later, you're hungry again. Why? Because the food that you ate didn't give the body what it was looking for. So your body's like, nope, that wasn't it. Let's go back, eat again. Because it's scanning, looking for these nutrients. Because it needs these nutrients to function. So you don't lose weight to get healthy. You get healthy to lose weight. Big difference. I oftentimes get people come to me and they say, Ms. Malcolm, what you have for me to lose weight? And I say, nothing. What you mean? Now, don't get me wrong. We do have stuff that can aid with your metabolism, etc. But I say to them all the time, we need to get you healthy first. We need to get you healthy so you can lose the weight, not lose the weight so you can become healthy. Big difference, big difference. So yeah, people, you all need to understand something that they are only able to advise you based on their knowledge. And when it comes to the effects of therapeutic nutrition on your health, their knowledge is limited to nothing, little to nothing. Okay? And again, if you're one of them people who are only sold on their therapies and listening to them and what the doctors say, how come you ain't getting no better on their medication? And if you believe the prognosis that your body cannot heal and you got to take this medication for the rest of your life, I got a really good sale on the Paradise Island Bridge, because you'll believe anything if you believe that. So wise up, people. Stop letting these people sell y'all a myth for their own financial gain. I've seen people come back from the worst conditions simply by giving their body the building blocks it needs to function. And that's what we're talking about on this show today. We're going to take a quick break. Again, our telephone number to call is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. And the number to text us is 828-2543. 828-2543 is the number to text. And you can also put a comment on Facebook, and we'll sift through them and pick a couple of them to display for everyone to hear and see. So stay with us. This is GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM.
Less stress, hats off. Looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robertson Road East at the Helron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion statements.
Hey, it's Bertram Obabala, and I will be reading from the Book of Glory 93.9 FM, and it reads, "For this station shall be the best gospel station in all the land. Keep it locked."
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466. Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA-focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information. Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room, sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and so you know what that means. We're talking all about your health today. And I'm calling this show today, Health Made Simple, the role of therapeutic nutrition in the healing process. Because yes, your body is designed to restore, to rebuild. And you need to understand something, that pharmaceutical medications do not rebuild. They actually block stuff. So for instance, if you have a thyroid condition and they put you on a thyroid medication, that isn't designed to get your thyroid to work. It actually is designed to stop your thyroid from working so it can replace what your thyroid should have been producing with the chemical. So the pharmaceutical medications don't rebuild. They actually block the body's systems. And this is, again, why they are only managing an illness as opposed to encouraging your body to restore and rebuild. Okay? That is what they do. That is allopathic medicine. That's what they do. So you have to get a full understanding of that. I want to read one of your comments that says, "You are speaking nothing but truth." This is from Georgina. "You are speaking nothing but truth. My son was diagnosed with ADHD. They wanted me to put him on medication. The insurance won't cover holistic and nutritional costs because the insurance and Big Pharma and the medical profession, they are all in that little circle together. They benefit from each other, and they're not going to cover nutritional stuff because you can't pattern vitamin C. Even if the vitamin C is going to work, you can't patent that. So they're not going to cover the nutritional stuff, unfortunately. And that is exactly what the body needs. And it's like Doc Wallach said in one of those clips. Why should they give you something that can help you to be healed after 3 weeks as opposed to treating you over 30 years? You see how this works? So you have to understand ADHD, for instance, that is nothing more than a blood sugar imbalance. That's what that is. It's a blood sugar imbalance. Balance out the blood sugar and the behavioral challenges go away. I want to share a screen. Let me see if I could get this right now. Figure out how to do this. Because one of the things that Doc Wallach discovered is that there are 900 diseases that can actually be reversed through nutrition. There you go. Now I just have to figure out how to make it bigger. So bear with me, guys, while I work through this. Okay, we'll go full screen. So there are 900 diseases that can actually be reversed with nutrition. And what he discovered is that there are 4 categories of disease. For those of you who take a health evaluation, because everything that we do as it relates to the training that I received through the Institute of Holistic Health, we have a health evaluation that asks you 4 sets of questions. And the reason it does is because those 4 sets of questions are all tied to the 4 categories of disease. So if you look on your screen, you'll see there are blood sugar imbalances, calcium deficiencies, digestive disorders, and essential fats and cholesterol deficiencies, right? Blood sugar imbalance. Now, everything that we do starts with the 90 nutrients. That's the foundation. We put you on the 90, and then depending on what symptoms you may be experiencing, then we know that you have a deficiency in a particular area, so we put you on additional support for that particular symptom. So for instance, if you have a blood sugar imbalance, then we know that you're dealing with chromium and vanadium deficiencies. And if you look on your screen, you will see all of the diseases, and these, not all of them, some of the diseases that are actually a result of a blood sugar imbalance. So you balance out the blood sugar and these symptoms go away. The next category are calcium deficiencies, or what we call the hard tissue category, because when you have a deficiency of calcium, magnesium, glucosamine, and chondroitin, you end up displaying symptoms in the hard tissues of your body, such as your bones, your joints, teeth, nails, cartilage, tendons, connective tissues, etc. And when you have a deficiency in this category, then you end up displaying these symptoms in the hard tissues of your body. And if you look on your screen, you will see some of the many conditions that are a result of a deficiency of calcium, magnesium, glucosamine, and chondroitin. Some of these are very common ailments. Blood pressure issues, easily solved. Simple nutritional deficiency. Things like tooth decay, sciatica. It's amazing, but simple nutritional deficiencies can address so many conditions. So if you have bone issues, that can be addressed with nutritional, therapeutic nutrition. If you have blood pressure issues, that can be addressed. It's amazing. You just look at the screen. And again, these are only some of the many, many conditions that can be addressed with nutrition. The next category, digestive disorders. When you have issues with allergies, issues with your gut, food sensitivities, then you have what is called a digestive disorder. And so once we put you on the right nutrition, your body literally corrects itself. I want to stick a pin in it in this discussion right here, because I want to use myself as an example. Years before I was introduced to this program, I had a digestive disorder. I had really bad acid reflux. Went to the doctor, and the doctor did what doctors do, prescribed Nexium. I decided after 3 days of taking Nexium that I didn't want to do it anymore after I read up the side effects. And I decided to do what I had to do naturally to get rid of the acid reflux. And I was able to reverse that condition without any medication. This was several years ago. Well, guess what, y'all? Nexium is all over the news now because it and Prilosec and Zantac are facing this huge lawsuit because now they have discovered that there are over 9 different cancers that are linked to those medications. So now they got people from all over the United States coming together to sue these companies for pushing something that causes cancer. Now, I thank God that I decided not to continue to take that Nexium, because I know some people who've been on Nexium for years because they listen to what the doctors say. Cancer people. And that's just one of many pharmaceutical medications, which, if taken over a period of time, can lead to illness and disease. Come on, man. You've seen all the commercials. You know, they have the people smiling and looking all happy to take this particular medication, and then at the end of the commercial, they say side effects will include, and then they list off these long list of side effects. Some of them worse than the actual disease you're trying to heal. And you think to yourself, I mean, one of them, for instance, is if you often hear them talk about for antidepressant, for instance. You take an antidepressant medication, one of the side effects could be suicidal thoughts. Well, blow me down. A suicidal thought, I think, is the ultimate depressing mood. So what's the point of taking that if it can cost me one kill myself? So let's move on. Essential fats and cholesterol deficiencies. When you have a deficiency of essential fats, like omega-3, 6, and 9, or fish oils, when you have a deficiency of cholesterol, and yes, you can have a cholesterol deficiency, you end up displaying symptoms in the soft tissues of your body, your brain, your heart, your eyes, your lungs, your skin, your organs. So now you start developing skin issues, breathing issues, cognitive impairment, things like extended menopause. And I mean, you see all of these conditions on your screen. Simple deficiency of essential fats and cholesterol. And a big one, as I've discussed on this show already, is how it messes with your neurological system when you lower cholesterol levels too low in your body. Can lead to things like dementia, Alzheimer's. Doc Wallach always says Alzheimer's is a physician-created disease. So again, we go back to the discussion of why are you not willing to consider something else if what you are doing and have been doing for years is not working? These are failed medical theories that are not working. And this is why we're one of the sickest nations in the world. And it's not just us. People sick all over the world because they are following these failed medical theories that aren't helping them to get any better. Bertha says, doctors are good at diagnosing and writing prescriptions. That's all. Dorinda says, doctors treat symptoms. Yes, they do. You go in there with a headache, they give you something to mask the pain. They don't give you something to figure out what's causing the headache in the first place. So you're getting rid of a symptom, but the condition which caused that headache is continuing. The degeneration is continuing. And unless you address the degeneration, then you're still going to have a problem, even though you're masking the symptom. Sylvie says, remember, doctors have a practice, therefore they practice medicine. She also says, the medical system in the Bahamas is simply a cash cow. The doctors have practices at both PMH and doctors, and they have their own private practice. But it's not just here in the Bahamas, Sylvie. It's not here in the Bahamas alone. This is something that is happening. Sylvie also says, this is a very sore subject. Oh, I read that one already, talking about her husband, losing her husband in 2020. And my deepest sympathy to you and your family, Sylvie. Georgina says, they are brainwashed and they're hoping you are sleeping sheep. Yeah. They don't like these kinds of shows. They don't like these kinds of shows at all. They don't want you to have this knowledge. Okay. So Sylvie says, I am careful with the bush medicine since no one knows exactly how much to take and what the strength to take. And that's a good point, Sylvie. And you know, our grandparents, they didn't have a choice but to turn to the bush because that's all they had access to. Now, one of the things that I really like about the program that I am with, longevity is all plant-derived nutrition, but you know exactly how much of everything you're getting. And that's the big difference between going and picking the bush. You have to really be careful because, especially if you're on medication, because you don't want to take too much of something that's going to counteract something else. But one of the things that I love with the program that I'm on is that, you know, everything is labeled. You know exactly how much of everything that you're getting. So there's no guesswork involved. And that's one of the things that makes that program so effective, that we can know exactly what you're getting based on your body weight. We know exactly how much that you should be taking. And I have seen some really remarkable things happen. So I want you to understand that supplementation, again, is really very important in this conversation. The right supplementation and supplementation which gives you knowledge as to how much you should be taking of something, because that is very important. So let's go to the next clip. Would be clip number 5. Is that it? Yeah, clip number 5, talking about the fact that supplementation can help to reposition your body, moving it back towards good health.
Can this help? Can this help me if I'm facing that? Can this help me if I'm facing that horrible death sentence of cancer?
Of course. Cancer is a very easy disease to prevent. If you just cook your meat medium rare instead of well done, you'll reduce your risk of breast cancer, ladies, by 462%.
What?
Yeah. Let's go to 462%.
Just how I cook my meat?
Yes.
Come on, Doc.
You can reduce the risk. This is a large study from the University of South Carolina.
Wow.
But my doctor says cook it well done to avoid E. coli. I'd rather deal with E. coli than cancer.
What about just the simple stuff?
Arthritis.
Arthritis, or people watching right now that are on Nexium and a whole host of other pills because their digestive tract is messed up and everything else that's going on in the world.
Okay, well, Nexium is the worst possible thing you can take.
Oh.
If you have reflux, it really should be called lack of acid reflux, because what happens is when you don't have enough stomach acid, your stomach environment is not sterile. Stomach acid has many, many functions, one of which is to sterilize your stomach environment. Nothing will grow in there when it's acid. Now, if you're doing things to alkalize yourself, which many people go out of their way to do, or you're avoiding salt, which is the raw material for your stomach to make acid, that's one of the bad things about avoiding salt. You don't make enough stomach acid.
Wow.
Chloride from the sodium chloride makes hydrochloric acid, okay? And so what happens is your pH gets up around 4 or 5, kind of between 1 and neutral. Yeast and bacteria will grow in there. That's about the pH of vinegar. Yeast and bacteria will grow there. So every time you eat something that has carbohydrates or sugars in it, they're going to start fermenting it immediately. You get gas, bloating, reflux.
So the issues of bloating, the issues of acid reflux, which doesn't even really exist.
Lack of acid reflux, yeah.
All could be solved if we just understood some of the basics.
Salt your food. But wait a minute, my doctor says I can't use salt because it causes high blood pressure. No, that's not true
That's
either.
exactly what the studies suggest.
Well, it's a failed medical theory. Have you ever heard of obesity? That's another one of those failed medical theories. Obesity is not caused by eating too much and lack of exercise.
Well, that's what they say.
That's right. But following that 100-year-old theory, we became the #1 obese nation in the world. So that theory was a failed theory because following it, adhering to that, trying to eat less, exercising more, we became the #1 obese nation in the world. So that's a failed theory. It turns out that being obese is a simple nutritional deficiency.
There are people watching that have been on that merry-go-round or roller coaster, or the up and the down yo-yo effect of failed diets. And you're saying it's not just about eating right and it's not just about exercising.
No.
You've got to have nutrients infused into your body to not just tackle the issues of weight, but a whole host of diseases and sickness and stuff that people are facing.
900 different diseases can be resolved with supplementation.
900 diseases can be resolved with supplementation. 900 diseases can be resolved with supplementation. Amazing. Here you are, suffering from some chronic ailment, or a loved one suffering from a chronic ailment, being told that there's nothing more that we can do for this person. And what bothers me is why people is wait until they get to that point before they decide to try something else. You done fool around with these people for all these years. Ain't get no better. And then you're going to wait until they send you home to die before you decide to try something else. That saddens me. That saddens me. People, I want to encourage you to open your eyes and open your mind and understand that you have to take some responsibility for your own health. And don't just take what these people are giving you hook, line, and sinker as gospel, especially if it ain't working for you. And I know many of you out there listening to me right now have been on medication for years. Years for the same condition. And ain't getting no better. Understand, people, that it is not your doctor's job to reverse your illness. Your doctor's job is to manage your illness. You all have to understand the difference between the two. I want to read one of your comments from Facebook. This is by Terry. Terry says, "Morning, Miss M. In 2010, May 27th, in today's an article appeared where the FDA warned 43 drug manufacturing companies about shoddy manufacturing practices that caused health risks to the public. Some were guilty of many other violations. They changed drug names to confound the public." Yeah, that's one of the things that these pharmaceutical companies do. Sometimes they change drug names, or they hire someone to conduct a research paper that is going to show them to be the good guys. In other words, you could pay somebody to find any kind of conclusion you want to find. And so even though some of them know that their products are causing more death and pain, it's all about the money. I need y'all to understand that it is all about the money. So even though they know that their products are causing death and pain, they don't care. It's all about making that money. And they will try to suppress anyone who reveals the truth and who tries to wake you up and tell you, no, there's something wrong with this picture. Because now, once again, you affecting their pocketbook. So they will do anything that they can to keep that information suppressed. I'm trying to find, I'm not going to play it on this show, but there is a clip that someone sent me talking about exactly this. And I'm trying to find which company it is. I found a whole documentary on the unscrupulous activities of this particular company, and how they knowingly are making people ill with their product, but continue to push it because it is making them a huge amount of money. I'm gonna find it for a future show. But yeah, people, they don't have no love for you. They don't have no love for you. They are all about promoting their product. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't a medication. It was Roundup. I came across a documentary about Monsanto, knowing that Roundup causes cancer, but still promoting it to farmers. Remember, I told you they have taken over the agriculture industry. And even though they now have a condition, I think is farmers lymphoma, something like that, where all these farmers now develop this cancer. And now they're trying to say, well, it was not our Roundup, but yet Anyway, that's a whole other show. I want to stay focused today. But yeah, just understand that they don't have no love for you. It's all about the money. That's what it's about. So if you don't wake up and smell the coffee and figure out that's what's going on, you can be like somebody. I can read this comment says, my mom was like a walking pharmacy. Exactly right. You'll be taking 10 different medications. And what kills me, right? I come back to the comment right now. They'll see you taking your nutritional products. Well, you're a pharmacy, eh? All these things you taking, but they on 6 medication. Really, people? Okay, so Sarah says, my mom was like a walking pharmacy. She had so much prescribed meds, she lost track of which ones to take when. Another thing is, while these doctors are experimenting with different meds, they are charging you for every visit. You best believe that. That ain't free. You walk through their door, that's $60 just for walking in their door. Yeah. You get you making you can pay them. They ain't doing nothing for free. You paying them. So yeah, you gotta wise up, people. Okay, let's see. I'll do one more comment. Let's see. This one says, if there are 900 diseases that can be cured, they are all man-made. That means with the right nutrition, the body can heal itself. Well, Marvin, that's what I've been saying. The body can heal itself. That's how we were designed. We're healing machines. If you get a little cut on your hand, you'll notice that thing starts to heal itself over time, because that's how we were designed. But the more healthy you are in terms of the nutrients that you're taking, the faster your body will heal. You ever notice that? But some people that are, say, dealing with diabetes, they get a wound and the wound won't heal. Their body needs support. They need to balance out the blood sugar. Their body needs nutrients. And one of the reasons why it's having a hard time healing is because it doesn't have the building blocks to do its job, but it was designed to heal. And if you get that person on the right nutrition, I have a client. I obviously won't call her name, but I have a client who was on insulin and numbers high. And somebody said, you need to have a conversation with Michelle. And long story short, we got her on the nutrition. And after the first dose, she sends me a photograph of her reading. And she's like, my number hasn't been this low in years. After one dose, I can't believe it. All through nutrition. And it kept dropping all through nutrition. Let's go to the phone lines. We have our first caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, it's a pleasure, Michelle, to be on your show.
Good morning.
To any station you go at. And so, we give thanks to Almighty God for this station.
Thank you.
Glory,
Yes.
Glory 93. And I want Glory to know I love their music. I love how they carrying on. And I highlight that on my social media.
Spread the word. Spread the word. Let them know.
Absolutely. And I spread your show too.
Thank
you. When unfortunately this is some financial time. So some months I'm not able to pay that 1 month, that $90 for my $5, because I have more important things I might have to do with $90.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? And so from time to time, you're going to see me cut in and out Bahamas. Mm-hmm. But I follow this lady. You're talking about trying to save my life, who the people call no good, and this and big oil, my life, everything other than a child of God. Mm. And you trying to save my life, taken out of your busy schedule when you could be doing more exciting shows. I mean, when I say exciting, there is no show more exciting to me than this show on Wednesday. I admire this show. I love this show. It reminds me of a particular person, but because they went into politics, I won't call their name. But they were talking for, it feels like centuries about this holistic thing. And today, to see, long before, Michelle, I give you great credit, but long before you would have decided to come in this has its place in everything and in everyone's life, as it was in the beginning. Where we come from is where we're going to return. Our grandparents, lived much longer life, and it's only after they got older and was unable to go out in that boat and go out in that field,
And move
they
to Nassau.
and had to move to Nassau simply because the children who they needed to help them in the boat and the field had no school. So this is the corruption that the people were part of the corruption, not only our health, but part of the corruption to program us into a different system. Then it's nothing wrong with education system, but nature or the natural way of living that God Almighty, the Creator, intended us to live. Education was supposed to come and coexist and take nature way of understanding things to a greater level. But like you said it so far in the shows that you have had, and especially in this one, the people have decided to make money off our lives, okay? That's full stop. And that's in every arena. And I'm thanking God Almighty for sparing my life. A young man who had a stab wound in the center of his head, 2 stab wounds to my shoulder, 2 stab wounds to my back, a gunshot to my left leg, stab wound to my right thigh. Michelle, God have you on this show. And I'm not pitying myself, and I'm not going to let the people cause us to pity ourselves. We got to just simply go back. Yeah, we can't go to work right now, but we see the mango tree blooming. And we had, like Michelle said, in many of our shows, we had the natural things what God placed there. God is smarter than humans. So when humans thought we would have been hungry like we are hungry, like we would have been broke, like they planned, see, if it was about money, then they've taken the money that you are legitimately, constitutionally, internationally, as it relates to international law, entitled to have, that take finance on what I call clever, ungodly ways. The higher light bills. In the Bahamas, it's light bill. In some other countries, it's something else. But for us, it's our light bill because so much water is connected to light. And our food, our land is our food. That's our life. If you lose your land, you lose your food. You lose your food. You are definitely in need of a GPS and a Michelle Malcolm. And we are grateful. Michelle, the show ain't about me. But I thank you. See, when you have these shows, you have to be mindful that this is what's going to happen. People are going to believe in the truth. And see, and so you are only a messenger, but I'm telling you about the truth. And of the life of this show. This is the truth. This show, your show, GPS, especially Wednesday show. And hold on now. Wednesday show is my show. All right. I love all the shows, but Wednesday one, Michelle, I put my name on that one. I want you to have a glorious day. The Spirit of the living God is always with you.
Amen.
You are born. He poured it upon you. So whether you wanted to exercise your light allow the light to come out of you, He poured it, so it doesn't matter. A lot of people are going to allow that which was poured on them to see. Even when you go in the grave, they have to pour some stuff. But why don't I exercise and execute the light that God has given us through the good food in the ground? Michelle, I get my money to get. I told you this the second time. I didn't tell you that on the show. That I come into you. I think that you're teaching me how to save my life. Yeah. What I learn about how to save my life, I could share with my children. I could share with my neighbor. So you see, one hand, anyhow, you need 2 hands to clap. I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. I really, thank you so much.
Good day. It's real talk. Good day.
The truth has a new home. I really appreciate you supporting the show. I'm really grateful to Glory for opening the door for Adrian Francis and I to come here because honestly, there's this level of freedom and the atmosphere here is so different. You walk into this place and you can feel it. Just the atmosphere is so different for the better. And so I am really grateful to God for opening the door and allowing this arrangement to happen and getting us on the air so that we can get the truth to the people, because that's really what it's all about. And I want to say thank you to the whole team at here at Glory, management staff, everybody who makes us feel so welcomed, because they really have welcomed us with open arms and just made it real easy to be here. Just real easy. So thank you to everyone here at Glory for making it happen. So let me look at a couple of your comments, and then we're going to take our final break of the show. Let's see. Sylvie says Roundup is still being sold. And Kelly's Roundup is still being sold plenty places, but I don't advise you buy it. They could afford to sell it, but you ain't got to buy it. Anastasia, the supplements that is 100% effective contain the nutrients our body needs. Is there any really in the market that offers 100%? Yes. Though the supplement program that I promote and believe in and use and drink myself, you saw me sipping on this, that's my stuff, is Longevity. And there's several other very good lines out there that I recommend. But Longevity is like the foundational line that I get all of my nutrients through. And like I said earlier in the show, you're able to look and see exactly how much of everything that you're getting. And because it's plant derived, your body is better able to absorb it. I think that the bioavailability rate is 90 to 98%. Absorbability rate is 90 to 98% in Longevity products. So your body is able to assimilate it. Your body is able to absorb it and put it to good use. So that's, Anastasia, what I recommend. And you and I can talk after the show. What I'm going to do every Wednesday, I'm going to put a link on the Facebook page, the official Facebook, Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, to the health evaluation system. Our health evaluation system, what it does is it gets you to answer these questions about the symptoms that you're experiencing. And that pretty much, depending on your answers, tells us which direction to go in as it relates to what nutritional deficiencies you may be facing. There's no one fits all. The one thing that is universal to everyone is everyone needs the 90 nutrients. That's the foundation. Everybody needs a 90. Okay. But apart from that, everybody is different. And so what may work for Delton may not work for me. His needs are different than mine. So we start with the 90, and then we look at where your numbers, how your results came back. And that's how we make recommendations of which other building blocks your body needs based on your specific symptoms. So that's what we do. And after the show, I'm going to, I think I'll pin it to the top of the page because it's already on the page somewhere. I'll just go ahead and pin it to the top of the page so you'll be able to find it easily, where you can just click onto that and do the health evaluation so we can figure out what is actually going on in your body. Sylvie says non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is associated with Roundup. Yes, there's a thing called farmers lymphoma, where all of these farmers now and their family members, because they imagine they're covered in this thing from working, spraying it all day, and they go and they take it home. And some of their family members are getting sick from this thing. But Monsanto is trying to deny responsibility. But of course, because it's all about the money. So let's see. Bertha says, the health of the nation is the wealth of a nation. I'm loving Wednesday Wellness. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for tuning in, Bertha. And I want you guys to please like and share the show. Like and share the show. And especially if you know someone who is dealing with any kind of chronic ailment, I guarantee you we will be able to help them. We will be able to help them with therapeutic nutrition. I'm telling you, I've seen the most amazing things happen once we put people on the right nutrition and clean up their diet. I always said, no amount of nutrition can outdo a poor diet. So don't think you can continue to eat garbage and then this therapeutic thing is going to work. No, it don't work like that. It's a two-sided coin. You got to eat right. You got to get yourself out of the toxic environment that you may be in. So for many of my clients who are working in these government buildings with all of the mold and stuff, they're having a hard time because they're still, even though they're taking the nutrients to help their body fight, they're walking right back into the poison. So it's like pouring gasoline onto a fire you're trying to put out. It'll never go out. So there are several factors to this. The nutrients is one very important building block, but you also have to be eating right, and you have to make sure that you're not exposed to toxins. Okay? All right, so we're going to take a break. And then when we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up. One more clip to play. Again, I'd love to hear from you. The telephone number to call is 828-3543, 828-3543, and the number to text is 828-2543, 828-2543. You can also leave us a comment on Facebook, and we will get you on air. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Stop letting these other guys run you hot while looking for ice. No need to check the food store, the gas station, conveniently located around Nassau. Cooler Ice. So for just $3 US, you can get a bag of ice whenever you want, or refill your 5-gallon bottle for the same $3. The ice machine is closer than you know. Cooler Ice. With locations at Arawak Key, Potter's Key Dock, Montague Boat Ramp, Superwash locations at Prince Charles, Carmichael Road, Soldier Road, Charles Saunders Highway, and 3 new locations: Superwash Nassau Street, Wolf Road, and Gibbs Corner. Cooler Ice Bahamas, fresh and ready whenever you are.
Want to look your best and feel even better? Visit J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa for the ultimate beauty, body, and anti-aging treatments, offering custom colors, haircuts, vegan anti-freeze treatments, silk blowouts, natural and acrylic nails, unisex pedicures, facials, and massages, all waxing services, and microcurrent therapies for anti-aging and body sculpting. J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madeira Street, telephone 326-7863. At the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, we provide you with the freshest produce, eggs, meat, and more. But what you don't see makes a difference too, like the care our farmers put into growing and raising that food for your family, the fewer miles that food travels from the farm to your plate, and the dollars you are keeping in our local community. Our open-air market is every Friday and Saturday. Come visit us, and be sure to look for the GPS-endorsed flyer. COVID-19 has affected all of us, but it won't stop us from serving you with a smile, even under the mask. Gladstone Road Farmers Market, home of fresh.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I was getting Glory and Global mixed up. Yeah. Okay. Y'all know what I try to say, right? Welcome back to the show. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and we are talking about the role of therapeutic nutrition in the healing process. It's really simple, y'all. This is not rocket science. Health made simple. Health made simple is what we are talking about today, because in spite of what they have told you to the contrary, your body is this incredible machine that was designed to heal itself. And even some of the organs that they said once it's damaged, it can't heal itself, they now backtracking on that because they realize it's not true. Once you give your body the building blocks it needs, your body is designed by the ultimate manufacturer, also known as Almighty God, to heal itself. That's how he designed us. And so this show is all about educating you to the point where you understand that once you give your body the support it needs, many of these chronic conditions that so many of our people are suffering with can actually be done away with. Done away with, people. Not managed. Done away with. Completely. So that's what we're talking about today. You know, the Bible says, The Bible talks about, I always hear people say, oh, if it's the Lord's will for me to be healed, I'm going to ask the Lord for his will to be done. I never see, and y'all biblical scholars could correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I remember seeing the scripture saying it is the Lord's will that you should suffer and die. Is that any place in the Bible, Delton? You ever see that anywhere in the Bible? Delton say no, he ain't never see it. Now, if any of y'all Bible scholars out there could correct me, please do tell me where in the Bible it says it is the Lord's will for you to suffer and die. It is not his will for you to suffer and die. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayst be in health and prosper even as the soul prospers. And that's what the word say? Delton say, yeah, that's what the word say. So I don't know where we get this thing from if it's the Lord's will for me to be healed. It is always the Lord's will for you to be healed. Know that. That's why he designed your body to heal itself. But you got to give your body the help it needs to do so. You can't constantly contribute to being sick and then say it wasn't the Lord's will for you to be healed. We have a caller on the line. So let's go to the call. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Michelle.
Hi.
I apologize for calling back. I hope that's not a problem.
That's fine.
Okay, ma'am. I'll be brief since you gave me a long run the first time. But you touched on something that is really dear to my heart. You mentioned something about how many pills that we have to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take pills. I don't. I mean, must have to be die. I don't take pills, Michelle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Period. But I am concerned with the amount of pill that I see my older family members have to take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm talking because my mom is 75, so I know what she has to take. I have other families up here in Marshall Road, and I see her condition, what she has to take. My mother's sister live out there, down there, almost on Glasgow Road, that subdivision out there. She in and out of the hospital, like only God knows. And she just out of the hospital a couple of weeks ago. So only God know how many pills. Just Alfred Gray's sister, in and out of the hospital, taking these pills. I need these politicians to understand something, Michelle, before I go. And I, honest to God, no one know when they're going to die. And you're right. There's no place in the scripture. In fact, you quoted the right part of the scripture, correct. Above all, his dying will. But only one thing, he don't die. He lives forever. The one who lives forever and sits on the throne, say, his will for Michelle and Amos and the world, okay, is that they prosper.
And be
in health. The first thing is prosperity. Mm-hmm. I said they try to miss this piece. Mm-hmm. Prosperity, he put prosperity before health. Because he know if you're prosperous, you can take care of your health. Okay? That's why it's like that. He said, above all, I will that you prosper, be in health, even as your soul prosper. The one who lives forever says, I know I want the third one first, but I need you to be blessed above all things, so you could be in good health, and then I can get the divine praise out of you that is due to me, that's coming free from your heart. I go on, Michelle.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Amos. No, he's absolutely right. It's not the Lord's will for you to suffer, boo. Don't ever believe that that's the Lord's will for you. It is always his will for you to prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. All right. I want to play one more clip. This final clip that I'm going to play is sort of just to reinforce everything that I would have said on the show already today. And that is that I have seen with my own eyes people reverse conditions that the doctors are telling them couldn't be reversed. I've seen it with my own eyes. A big one is this knee replacement surgery and hip replacement surgery. And they try to tell you, oh, you can't regrow cartilage. That is a lie from the pit of hell. I have seen people on insulin, and they would have you believe that you got to stay on this insulin. All you got to do is give your body the nutrition it needs, and your blood sugar levels level out. I have seen people come back from being gone in the head, but because we got the right nutrition in their bodies, all of a sudden they start having cognitive abilities again. We got one more call. Let's take this call quickly. Caller, welcome to the paradigm shift. The global paradigm
Michelle,
shift.
how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
You know, doctors obviously are not God, but they are behaving themselves as if they are God. They will tell you and me that the body can't heal itself beyond a certain point, but like you said, you just discovered, or rather you found out that that's not true. I've heard so many phenomenal stories here in the Bahamas where people would have had the same type of a report and, negative health reports, and because of nutritional supplements and healthy eating, their body became healed. Now, of course, the FDA does not want anybody to be talking about the word cure. That seems to be a taboo for them.
Yeah, they actually will limit you from saying it.
Yeah, well, who's that? Who's the FDA? Are they God? If God made the body to cure itself, then I am going to do what I can, and I'll say what I have to say in order to continue to promote that point. But the thing that really prompted me to call is that with the body being sick, the body gets sick because of toxins in it.
That's one thing.
And because of the lack of nutrition in it.
That's another thing. Yes.
And probably one or two other things. And if we give the body those things, like you were saying, that we grew up on these farms, we grew up eating healthy in this country, and back then we used to be a lot more healthy than we are now. And the thing that saddens me is Dr. Nakia Forbes, I think is her name. During the height of the pandemic, she had been asked about, during one of those press conferences that it had about 6-7 months back, about the use of natural Bahamian remedies for the healing of the country. And I think it was Artemis Munnings from ZNF who would have asked the question. And Dr. Munnings' response, response was, well, those things do, some of them can kill you. So, they were a little hesitant to recommend the Bahamian public to go the route of the natural products and stuff. But Michelle, you were talking about it quite a bit today. A lot of these pharmaceuticals that they have been promoting kill you. So if I am going to die from taking something, I am going to take God's remedy rather than man's remedy. Because at least with God's remedy, I have a hope. I've experienced healing once I do it right. And at the end of the day, if you could possibly, Jamal Munkar is his name, if you could have him on your show sometimes and let him share a lot of the phenomenal experiences that their businesses would have had in regards to people's lives being changed for the better from using nutrition, I think that would help your listening audience to even be more enthralled at the opportunities and prospects that are out there. Because God got the remedies out there.
Yeah.
All we have to do is follow God's way.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. I see somebody was trying to call while you were on. You can call back now. I couldn't pick up because we were actually on that call with him. So that person who was calling a couple of times, if you can call back now, that would be great. Before I go to this next clip, because I definitely want to play this final clip before the show ends. We've only got 7 minutes left. So quickly call back if you can. Okay. So I don't want to start this clip and then you call in the middle of the clip, because then that would be pointless. So if you're going to try to call back, do so now. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. There they are. Okay. Hello, caller. Welcome to GPS.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Malcolm.
Good morning.
I was having a problem getting in. The number is so small at the bottom of the screen. I get old, but I just wanted to verify what you were saying about the gluten allergy, right? And I had a friend. He's a fitness instructor, and so he always have this high blood pressure and these weird reactions. And he just speaking to me the other day. And he said what he really found it was he was glucose.
Gluten
intolerant. And you can used to see how it did him. I was kind of skeptical at first, but and the last caller was pumpkin, right?
I'm not sure.
But he was correct because what happens now, I've had a doctor right on your own show denied me the truth about the herpes virus and the herpes virus and something being similar when it asked me, I denied it on air.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I would like to draw a reference to the allopathic ideology because they had given my father Motrin, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, knowing that he was a heart patient. And they never failed to, they never admit that this is illegal. When you go in the States, it's right on the label. You shouldn't dispense this drug to someone with heart problem with defibrillator. Have a good day, Miss Malcolm.
All right. Thanks for calling. Y'all better educate yourself, yeah? All right. Okay, let's go to this final clip. This clip, as I started to say before the calls came in, I have seen it with my own eyes. I ain't telling nobody tell me. I have seen it with my own eyes. The power of therapeutic nutrition. Seeing is truly believing. Let's go to the clip.
Glaucoma, macular degeneration. Doctors will say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Macular degeneration, you're going to go blind, nothing we can do. Well, I took a challenge from an eye doctor about 12 years ago, and there was an audience of 300 people. And the first question, my grandmother is 88 years old. She's been legally blind for 6 years with macular degeneration. Can you do anything about it? I said, well, yeah, I can get rid of that.
Wow.
This doctor jumps up in the back of him and says, Wallach, you're a liar. That's impossible. I said, okay, who are you? He said, well, I'm an eye doctor. I said, okay, I tell you what. Let's have a little bit of a wager here. You give me 12 of your patients who are legally blind, 6, 8, 10 years from macular degeneration, and we'll put them on my program for, say, 90 days. If I could get half of them, if I could get 6 out of the 12 to read 20/20 in 90 days, will you apologize in public? He said, well, if you can get 2 out of 12, I'll apologize.
No doubt.
Yeah. So the next day, he brings me a true story. He brings me a box of 27 charts, and he says, pick your 12. I said, well, wait a minute. Why don't we do all 27 of them? But I just have to ask who's going to pay for all the supplements. He says, well, he'll pay for it because he wanted me to lose big.
Wow.
Okay? And so he says, I'm going to crow about you losing here if you lose. I said, that's right, but you're going to apologize publicly if I win, right? He says, okay. And we're talking about half of them, right? 27 if I could do, if I could do 15, 12 or 15 in there, you'll apologize. He says, you got it. So in 90 days, all of them could read 20/20. Only 2 of them required glasses to do it. 25 of them didn't. And he did better than I asked for because I was expecting him to buy me a dinner and a glass of wine, and stand up in the restaurant and say, I want to apologize to Dr. Walker. But instead, he made me a CD. He told the whole story of the wager.
Wow.
And told the story of the CD. It's called Seeing is Believing.
Wow.
Seeing is believing, y'all. I've seen it with my own eyes, where people who have had chronic long-term ailments, been on medication for years, not getting any better, finally decided to stop listening to these people who are telling them that they can't do any better than that. Try something different. And lo and behold, they get better. My encouragement to you today is I want you to believe the diagnosis, because I hear some people say, oh, the doctor trying to put diabetes on me. He ain't trying to put that on you. You put that on yourself. Right? So believe the diagnosis. It's not healthy to ignore the diagnosis. Believe the diagnosis, but you don't have to believe the prognosis. Believe the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. The beauty of believing the diagnosis is now you know what you have to deal with, but you got to deal with it. Ignoring it is not going to help you. But don't believe the prognosis that there's nothing more that you can do but take this medication for the rest of your life. That there's nothing more that no, don't believe that. Know that your body has the ability to correct itself. But you gotta give it the support it needs to do so. And that is where therapeutic nutrition comes in. So after the show, I'm going to pin to the top of the page the health evaluation link. If you're interested or you have a loved one who is suffering through something that you want to get them some relief, go ahead and have them fill out that health evaluation, or you do it for yourself or whatever. and we will get back to you, schedule a consultation, throwing in the consultation free, just to get you the information that you need to try to move you closer to optimal health, because your body was designed to heal. Know that you are a healing machine. I promise you, if you give us an opportunity, we'll help you get there. That's my time, y'all. Like and share the show. Get this word out. Make sure people know the truth. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thanks so much for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow here on GPS. Have a good one.